Fantastic Fest 2012. We are here on the red carpet for the premiere of The Collection.
Where is this place anyway?
It's right up here.
If you like the first one, this one's like the first on steroids. So everything that was great about the first, it's amped up by 10 in this one. So you're going to be in for a ride for sure.
Elena goes through this great adventure, and it's kind of this cool meeting of Josh's character Arkin from the first movie, his storyline and my storyline coming together in this like terror labyrinth that the collector has built. So it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's very action-based horror.
Why was it important at the premiere here at Fantastic Fest?
Fantastic Fest brings it full circle for Patrick and I. The very first movie we were ever lucky enough to get made was called Feast. And Fantastic Fest #1 played Feast for the first time anybody ever saw it. From that screening, we had a chance to then go and tell more stories and more stories and more stories. And finally, how many years later, we're back. And Tim League and Harry Knowles and Harry Knowles' dad, I think are all going to be there tonight, which is, it's an unparalleled feeling. It's not just waking up and having everyday Christmas, it's like going to the North Pole and helping make a present. It's really nice.
Well, it's such a genre-friendly and savvy audience in Austin, so it's like we wanted to, show it at a place where people are going to really appreciate it, so this is like the best place. I mean, look around, so.
Are you going to get to do some Austin-centric things here? Get some barbecue, see some bats? Or something?
So today, at Mr. League's home, we participated in a sliced and diced pig and then saw twins with a Napoleonic sword behead a bottle of champagne. And everybody then doused themselves in bubbles and had a wee old morning.
I love it. Now, what can you tell us about this film without spoiling too much of it?
What we wanted to do with this horror movie was step a little bit beyond the expectations of the previous entry, The Collector, and that was a very modestly scaled and kind of cruel, mean examination of a horror character getting into your home. This time, no, I wanted to be able to sit next to my mom, his mom, our dads, our whole family, and scare them mercilessly, but give them that sensation of seeing their worst bully get his ass kicked for 90 minutes. That victory.
And at the same time, we wanted to add the action element to a horror movie, because really, that's not with the exception of Aliens, there's not a lot of action horror movies, and so that was our goal with ours. Because the first one had probably more torture elements than we necessarily wanted, and there's less of that in this one, and more just adrenalized action and sort of mayhem.
Well, and a lot of people know you guys from the Saw franchise. Are you guys glad that you're on to the next phase, or do you miss them?
Saw was a wonderful chapter in our lives because it gave us this night. And being a part of that franchise was wonderful because we were also like spies working in our own horror world, being like, okay, we know what's been done. Now how do we make this occasion even more special again? How do we own this little portion of time and invite these people into the dark and scare them in a brand new way? Everything is all a building block to loving that experience of having a friend, a loved one, jump, spray popcorn, and hold each other a little closer.
Yeah, I mean, Saw was awesome because it had such a following. It was like, we go anywhere in the world and they'll say, they're like, oh, you're right? And you're like, yeah, it's Saw. And they go, look at you like, what? Like, Saw? And then like, oh, yeah, I know Saw. And it's like, just because it has such a, it had a huge impact, on the horror scene 8 years ago when it started. And so it was great, it was fun, but, at the same time, we did 4 of them, and it's time to sort of move on to other things,
So will we see more of these? Will there be a couple more?
Well, I can't give away anything just yet, but that's always up to the audience. If the audience appreciates this one like we really hope and think that they will, then perhaps. Maybe we will return, and if these characters have any life or blood left in them, maybe we'll spray a little more.